What's up? It's your boy, the Amazing King, coming to you live and in color, bringing you that oh so amazing touch. I'm welcoming you back to another episode of the Get Ready For It podcast, season 5, new era. You guys, we got a full house, some new voices, some new faces. But before we get into our topic today, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to my co-host for today, Jude B. What's up, my boy?
What up?
That's it. That great introduction that I gave you, that's all you're going to give.
As you should.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to do my introductions. All right, to my right, I have the Miss Judy.
Kel.
Ricquel.
Lord, Jesus,
Judy
already.
Ricquel. What? I knew the first name. I just didn't know the middle name. Right?
That's my middle name.
Yeah. See, I know the middle name. So I have Miss Judy Ricquel. You want to say something to the people?
Hey, people.
She's the first time here to Get Ready For It podcast. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
And we got a lot to get into, but we got another guest in the building.
And we do is Miss Nia.
Hi, how's it going?
All right. So, host, would you want to host us into our show?
So, Nia, before we get into it, Nia is your best friend?
Yes.
Of how many years?
That's what
Ooh, I want to say like
it was good. It was
at least 11, 12.
Oh.
Like
12. It was
Do you mean-
junior year.
Okay, junior year? I thought it was
Yeah,
sophomore
yeah.
year.
Okay. So
Probably.
you gonna tell us all
So I was
the
13.
all the juice and detail about how this man lived his life, right?
Dude, Jude, I'm gonna say something. I'm very proud of Jude from like the beginning to where he is now. The things that he's gone through to like getting married, having a baby. Like he has really changed his life, and he's always been a quiet guy. But I think like over time he's kind of like come out of his shell and like found his purpose, found who he is, and like he's made like a lot of stomping ground. So I'm really proud of him. So go for it. Go for
Big up,
it.
Jude.
See that? You see how you gotta bring that out, and you see how I did that. I'm good at what I do, man. I'm good at what I do. That is a great segment, a segue for us, because our topic today is relationship across the board. I'm talking about romantic, friendships, life, all that and above. But we're gonna jump into some hot topics, relationships today. First, we're gonna talk about the lovely, the beautiful Keke Palmer and her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. They've been going through a lot on social media, you guys. First it was the whole Usher thing, and then it came out that there was some type of allegedly domestic violence situation, and now she does have a restraining order on this man. How do you guys feel about this? Because he's been acting up a little bit, and how do you guys feel? Let me start off with my boy Jude. How do you feel
About which part?
all of the whole thing and above?
I feel like with the Usher part, that could have been text to her versus being out in public.
Agreed.
Yeah, that type of stuff. You ended up making a whole big thing out of nothing in the sense of in the public eye. I didn't know there was a whole domestic abuse. I am against all of that. So
Allegedly,
There's facts. There's actually receipts.
we gotta protect it. We gotta protect ourselves in the pound, because ain't nobody been found guilty yet.
Well,
You
the
feel
Shade
me?
Room allegedly posted something.
Yeah, you feel
the video of her, in her
I ain't got no
living
money
room.
to get sued, and something like that. Nigga, until we find out.
Liability insurance.
Yeah.
I feel like with domestic violence, I don't stand for whether it's a man hitting a woman, a woman hitting a man. Again, these celebrities, I view it as we don't know the whole story. So how can I say it? I'm concerned, not concerned. Like I feel for her, but part of me doesn't care about the overall situation because I don't know. I feel like with the celebrity,
Because you're a heartless guy.
A little bit.
All right.
But as-
Is it not your situation? Is that why you feel like you don't care about it as a whole, or like?
they're celebrities. I just.
I mean, like, but she's still
She's
a
a
woman,
celebrity. I don't know
though.
about
No.
Yeah,
The
like-
women. That's what I feel bad for her
Okay.
and her situation, because even there was a post recently that says that she has gone through a lot of trauma, but she has to put on a front for everybody because she's a celebrity.
Yeah.
That's Keke Palmer. Keep a job.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I don't like. Yes, the baby daddy did what he did on the
Social media.
the Usher thing, But
that's where it escalated. So like, if that wouldn't have happened, I wonder like when would that have come up? The whole
and then she
domestic.
did make bread off of that because she was in his music video right afterwards.
And then she was promoting her music too right after that. So it was kind of like a celebrity.
I thought it was like a PR
And
stuff.
that's the reason why I said I don't really feed into it, because she, out of that one situation, she kind of like.
It came into a whole
like
thing.
your album came out and then you're in the music video with Usher
Merge.
and it was like,
I mean,
was like
wasn't
headline
that
after headline after
wasn't that the
headline.
appropriate thing to do though? I mean, her ex-boyfriend tried to embarrass her, and she made that into a bag.
but you also could handle it. Well, no, that was perfect. Like you,
Right.
You know, you utilize what you could do.
Yeah.
Right, because she hasn't made music in like a long
Yeah.
time.
So she that situation happened, and she was the host for the Soul Train. She was in the Usher. She made a bag off of all that after her ex-boyfriend tried to embarrass her. So I'm in full support.
As she should.
Mm-hmm. What are your opinion about this?
I feel like because it's celebrities, they get glorified to a sense, and obviously I agree with you to one extent that because it's a celebrity, you know, people pay more attention to it. But as a woman, I feel for her, obviously. I don't think anybody should have to go through that, because allegedly he's been abusing her throughout their whole relationship and after. And that's horrible, especially when there's a child involved, because essentially they're going to be the victims of it.
I have a question for you. How do you feel about their families getting involved? Because, you know, he has a brother that tried to come and protect him, and then come to find out his brother ain't shit
either.
And then
he plays that role in Insecure. He's an actor too. He plays that type of role.
well, allegedly he ain't shit either.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy. Like you play that role in real life.
And then you have Keke Palmer's mother, you know, coming to her defense. How do you feel about when family intervenes or like get involved into like relationships with their
I
children?
feel like it's sad because first, we never heard of her mom. Like, I've never seen her mom before. So if Mama Keke Palmer had to come into the scene and like say her 2 cents,
It's justified.
Yeah, it was needed. And I just feel like the whole situation is sad on a whole, that they can't, as adults, you know, come to a solution maturely, like, or just separate, you know, friendly and do what's best for the child, because essentially it's not just them, they have a child. So that's what I'm more focused on, like how is that going to affect their son.
Do you believe that domestic violence can be forgiven?
Yeah. You could forgive.
Hold on. Y'all have 2 different opinions.
No, so
okay, so I feel like, yeah, you have to forgive domestic violence. You have to, like, you can't hold on to that, because it's only going to end up hurting you, like, in the long run. But to maintain a relationship with that person, no, absolutely not.
how you feel about the situation?
I think for me, it's definitely different because I have grown up in a home where there was domestic violence. So for me to see those cycles kind of replay themselves over and over, it's different. I see it differently. Yeah. So it's just like, for me, I know what I wouldn't tolerate, what things I wouldn't stand for. So it's just like the moment that I see one red flag of like that, I'm out of here. Like I can't be around that. My energy can't take that. Like we got to go. I mean, you can forgive the person to move on, you know, like just to get that closure for yourself, but I would not reopen those doors. And even if you did, to a certain extent, like there has to be super firm boundaries, like super firm. Because
obviously they're going to be in each other's lives because of the child. So I agree with you. Same. I've been through it as well.
Yeah.
Like, growing up, and there's certain boundaries you have to set for yourself,
especially co-parenting for sure. Like that's hard.
So how do you feel about the whole Keke Palmer and Darius? Do you feel like she is wrong? Do you feel like he's wrong? Or, was he tripping when he made that Instagram, that Twitter post about,
I feel like he's insecure. So that is what led to, everything that's going on. Because to be real, like she put him on.
Yeah.
Like when it came to the show, like she put him on. Like no one knew who this guy even was. So I feel like it's different when there's jealousy in those relationships, especially when it comes from a man. It just looks so much different. So it's like, I really feel like he was insecure of who he was. Then, she went out, did her thing, went out with Usher, whatever. Like that wasn't even nothing. It was just for entertainment. Then that turned into like allegedly like videos being released and things like that. Like all these headlines, like things that you didn't even know about. So it's just like, I feel like everything kind of happened for a reason and the time that it needs to happen. Because if she was claiming that, it's been abused the entire relationship, we never saw that in the public eye, like the way she portrayed herself, like in public, so.
Yeah, I think for Mr. Jackson, I think it's something deep rooted because after searching the web and seeing a lot of things, his father allegedly abused his mother,
Oh, wow.
and now his brother is allegedly abusive to his baby mama, and now he's allegedly abusive to Keke Palmer. So it's something in the chain of roots or whatever. What is it called? Generational curses or something like that. That is somewhere deep in that family. And if I was Keke Palmer, I would hit that door so damn quick on his ass. What?
How dare you?
Yeah, you can come see your son, but you can't come see me.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. This is gonna be a quick one. C Murder responds to Monica heartbroken claims. C Murder has been in jail for quite some time. I guess Monica was in a what is it called, a jail relationship, and she said that somehow a man in jail broke her heart. How do you feel about that? How can a man break your heart that's been in jail for almost 100 years?
You know, I think it depends on whatever relationship they had before he was in jail, and then also to trying to keep, I guess, whatever promises they made before he went to jail. So it's like, I guess they built something, whatever's between them, writing letters, like that phone call, like sitting in that conversation. I don't know. Like, you know, they probably built their own version of their love for them. So I guess when things just came kind of crashing down for her, like, you know, for her, it's real. Like, she's holding herself from people in real life, putting herself on hold for someone who's in jail that's not really going to be coming out anytime soon. So it's like, you know, yeah.
What do you think?
I find the whole situation, you're Monica, like, girl.
Pull it together, girl.
You're literally Monica. You could pick and choose whichever man you want, and you have put yourself first. You're beautiful.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
You're up. Like, just put yourself first. Go find a man that's worth you. Value yourself a little bit more.
Can take her on a date.
Yeah,
like,
can, like, you know, hold her at night.
Right.
I'm not saying, I don't know C Murder, so I'm not saying he's a bad guy. Right. But just at the circumstances, you broke your own heart essentially by, you know, getting in a relationship with someone that couldn't reciprocate what you give him and couldn't give you what you needed. So if I was if I was Monica, I would go date a billionaire. And
that's not in prison.
That's not in prison.
I'm going to ask you guys a question after I get Jude's response. How do you feel about this?
They were dating for how long? It's been a while. Like, she was like,
I mean, like off and on. You know, she done had married, kids, married, and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think she was they reconnected because she was trying to help him get out of prison. And I guess when she saw him in that orange and that blue suit, she was like, I gotta have this man that's behind bars.
I feel like if you don't know when he's coming out,
which looks like never.
What's kind of the point? You could be a supportive person to them, but
right.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you guys can get married.
Right, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
80 years later, I'm with them. She kind of broke her own heart.
Right, yeah.
Would you two ladies do a prison relationship?
It's a negative.
It's a no for
me. Let me ask you guys why. Why?
Because it's just like you're feeling a void that you're never really going to feel. Like, you are holding on for a person that, okay, are they going to come out? Are they not going to come out? If they do come out, you know, how long is that going to look like? And then what does that look like when they come out? Because like life in prison and life here, they have to get readjusted. Yeah, like they have to get readjusted to life. So it's like, do I want to put myself mentally through that? And then it's just all the stuff that comes with it. It's just, yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
What about you?
No, like I'm so sorry, but there's a relationship is between two people that are there for each other. You can't be there for me, like, and it's difficult. Like, back to C Murder, like, how did he break her heart? Did another woman come and visit her the same time? Exactly. Like, she I
don't see how somebody can break your heart. He did over a letter, like, I'm in jail, I can't.
No, it's just there's a certain aspect of a relationship that me personally that I need from someone else, you know, to be there, that presence, that it's just
to explore the world with,
waiting,
just to see. Yeah, you can't
waiting for a letter or like visitation. It's not it.
Let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion and Mr. Pardon. A quick rundown of this. She did a song, and in the song, she said she referred to somebody cheating on her by basically having sex in the same bed that they laid in. Right? The fandom took it and automatically attacked him and his current girlfriend. So he, you know, clicked back at her, and he wrote a whole song about her and said some very, unkind things in the song. He was recently on Breakfast Club, and he did confirm that he did cheat on her at one point. But he said that the things that she did was she was lying and stuff like that. Now, she also did a live after that interview, and she said, well, why, her exact words, I believe, was, why would you respond to that line if you knew you weren't cheating? A lot of the fandom felt like that statement was like gaslighting him. How do you guys feel about this whole situation? I'm going to start with my girl across from me.
I feel like they both did each other dirty, and no one wants to admit it. Like, no one wants to be like, you know what, I messed up, I made a mistake. Everyone, like, they're both trying to keep an image and stick to, the statements that they released or things that they had said previously. I feel like they both were toxic to each other, because in that there was a Breakfast interview also, Breakfast Club interview, where Party said that he if a woman is toxic, he'll stay with her. That makes you look toxic also, Party. So I feel like they probably weren't the best for each other, and no one wants to be like, yeah, I was the bad guy. I was at fault.
How do you feel about it?
I just feel like this is just took a huge turn that I did not think was gonna happen. Like, I loved them together. The song was fire. Like, Cobra was fire. I do agree with her. Like, why it's not? I don't feel like it's gaslighting in a sense, because like I could have been talking about a boyfriend from 5 years ago. I could have been talking about someone else. Like, you don't know what I'm talking about. So for you to just come out and say that,
let me ask you a question though. So if you were of a celebrity, right, and you made that statement, right, and you noticed that you're the one about cheating. Okay. Right. And you saw that your fandom was attacking him.
Could have cleared it up.
You could have cleared it up. Yeah.
That's what when she went on live, and now mind you, I'm a Megan Thee Stallion fan. It's Megan all the way. But when she made that statement, she was like, oh, well, if you didn't think it was about you, why would you say that? I'm like, well, that's not really the point. His point is that your fans and the people automatically attach that statement with him because that's your most recent boyfriend. And then he, in defense, made a whole song about you, which I didn't think was appropriate. That's why I kind of agree a little bit with the gaslighting. I feel like
she's trying to take off so much heat off of her anyway, because she's been in so many headlines from Tory to this, like her career. Just now she's talking about like there's days she wanted to kill herself, so there's just a lot that's going on in general that I think she wanted to take a little bit more off that heat off of her and have someone else to blame, which was Party. But I still kind of feel like, why did you come up with the whole song? Like, I know that's her most recent, but like, how do you know in between? Like, we don't know everything. Like, how do you know in between she didn't have like a little side piece or someone else that she's talking about? Like, so it's just like, it was just giving like guilty.
Right. She could have been talking about Tory too.
Right. You could have talked about anyone.
True.
But no, I do feel that if she was not talking about him, she could have had authority over her fan base to be like, hey, like, chill out.
Yeah.
About him, blah blah blah, to clear it up. Because I feel like you know your ex partner, so you know that you know how petty somebody can be. So I don't know. I feel like if she knew that he could come out with I don't think a whole song. I think on his part, I don't know. Most of these male celebrities kind of like,
it was like a diss track.
Yeah, it was a long. It wasn't a short song. It was a full song.
I wouldn't make a diss track about
a diss track calling her very. It was.
I make a line.
Not kind things.
Her surgery.
Yeah.
Like
I wouldn't. And I think, but also I think with
like he hit
Party,
below the belt. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah. I think with Party, he's been there with her through the whole Tory Lanez situation. So I feel that he knows. If anyone knows Megan, he knows Megan.
It was her.
And he's been very quiet this whole time, like their whole relationship. He didn't really come out and say a lot until all this now.
Yeah.
The baby came out with a verse saying how he did, smash Megan. And he was just like, yeah, I'm kind of tired of this. And even like during the court, I think she had to admit to like some sexual stuff that she was doing with
Tory.
Yeah. And he was just like, he sat there through the whole thing. So the man probably like,
dang, made him look stupid.
Yeah. And
I mean, he got with a hottie.
Hot girls on there.
We don't disrespect Megan here on this goddamn show. You hear me?
I'm a Megan selective music supporter.
Man, she one of the hardest rappers out there. Stop playing on her top, man.
She is.
Like Cobra is hard. You have to
it's hard. She's a rapper.
The beat, the visuals.
She's a rapper.
Like Beyonce. Like Beyonce is a.
Please don't. Don't get canceled.
The show getting canceled. She's a.
His name is Jude Bartholomew.
Oh no, I already got my the swarm already came at me. She's a good. Beyonce's Beyonce, yeah. But. Well, she sucks at acting. But
this math ain't math in here. What's
so
where we going here?
The Beehive is what I don't like about Beyonce.
Oh, sure.
Her fans
Okay, fair.
That's not really her fault, though.
That's fair.
You say the same thing about Nicki Minaj fans, but I mean, they were all horrible people.
I don't like the Barbies. I don't like the Beehives. I don't like the Stallions. I don't like none of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because
so you against women now? Bet that's true. We
all
make next topic. Yeah, next topic.
I'm cool with Lil' Kim.
Look,
I'm cool with people I can like vibe to lyric. I'm a lyricist.
Sure.
I can't vibe to no whatever they be saying.
The booties and the lipo.
Oh, but you can vibe to gun violence and gangster and thug and not going to school and stuff like that. You can vibe to that, right?
That's not lyrics. That's not. I said
what do you mean?
Like J. Cole don't talk about that, or he does.
Those are particular.
Huh?
Those are particular rappers on what you
mean.
I'm
a lyricist. I like lyricists. I don't like rap.
I get you.
Rap is just noise.
Yeah,
the lyrics is like it has to feel it, mean it.
Yeah.
Like I can work out to Lil Baby and Gunna, but I'm not gonna sit here and listen to them for inspirational.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to Megan to listen to inspirational either.
You'd be surprised. What was that song she made? That what was it? WAP was very inspirational.
I mean,
everybody was saying
it was a time.
It was in tongues. Right?
I mean, it was the vibe. I mean, that's what they.
Right,
but she has a lot of summer bobs, though.
Yeah, she's definitely a Billboard type of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna move on to the next segment. This segment is one of the best segments here to get ready for a podcast. It's called "The Shit People Say on Social Media." These are statements, quotes that people we have found on social media that have said. We're going to get our reactions or statements on how we feel about these here. The first one, once again, these are going to be all geared toward relationship. The first one, what are 5 questions to ask yourself if you're unsure of a relationship? Let's start off with my boy Jude, the married guy.
5 questions? 5 questions?
5. I mean, you can give me 2 or 3, but yeah. What are 5 questions to ask yourself if you're unsure of a relationship?
Is it worth it? I don't know. I think that's mainly. I think with men, it's kind of like, is it worth it? Because I mean, we don't really. We'll take a red flag and paint it green. So I don't know.
I think females do that too, though. Oh, cap.
Maybe a little pink.
They don't. They won't paint it completely green. They'll just like
ignore it.
Right.
We won't paint it. We'll ignore it.
I saw you talk to that girl on the phone. Don't do that again. Nigga does it again. All right, this is your second time you doing that. I said don't do it again. That's the flag that's like, let's put in your pocket. So, yeah, I think the 5 questions, well, my questions would be, is it worth it? And then I'll just write a whole list of like pros and cons, to be honest, because that's the only thing I can really think of.
What about you? How do you feel? What if 5? What? You don't give me 5. Give me 2, 3.
Do I love myself enough to be in a relationship? I like that question. Is it worth it? Because some people just would rather be single, but they like people's company. So are you willing to like sacrifice to have that person in your life? What value do they add to your life? What value am I going to add to that person's life? Do I know that person well enough to say that I'm in a relationship with that person? And can I trust that person with myself, basically?
That's a good answer.
Oh, really? Where?
What about you?
I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of the trust. Like, if I don't trust you, like, I have to be, when I don't mean just trust, like, oh, like, I trust that you're not going to be crazy or do whatever, but, like, trust, like, if my name gets brought up outside of these walls, like, how are you showing up for me? Right. How are you defending me? So just knowing that you always have my back. Also too, just having that communication, like what does communication look like for you? Like, what does your style look like? Can we effectively communicate so like we have a positive relationship, or are we gonna be fighting all the time with no like solution? Like, how are we navigating through that? And just how much do you love yourself? And that's like for myself included and the partner, because it's like I can value myself, love myself, put myself up here, but if you don't love yourself, like, am I falling in love with your potential? Am I like, like what parts have you brought to the table that you say, I'm fully here, I've worked on myself, like I'm committed, so I can commit to you. So it's just kind of those vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with the table. I think the biggest thing when you're insured is something making you happy. If it's not making you happy, that's when it's time to go, man. So that's my biggest one. That's for all five of them. Shit. Next one. This is actually a statement that was made. I'm gonna read it exactly how they wrote it. They ain't keeping no friendship that makes me question where your loyalty lies.
Period.
On top, for real.
Point blank. Period.
Right.
How do you feel about that statement, Jude?
I agree. I feel like everybody has a Judas, and it's good. It's best that you eliminate that Judas before you get crucified.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like, I feel like you gotta literally like this. I wouldn't keep a friendship if I know that the friendship's not working or for me, because you surround yourself with people of whatever level you're at. So if you up here and you got somebody down here, they automatically are going to bring you down here with you not even knowing it.
Oof.
So I feel like I agree.
How do you feel about that?
For real, because why are you my friend?
Yeah.
Like if you're not there for me, if you're not 10 toes down for me, why are you my friend? At this big age, nah.
All right.
big friend age. No, that's true. That's true. If I call you and you can't even come out to help me change a tire or something, like we're not friends. Like life or death situations, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's one of the foundations of friendship is loyalty. If you feel like you can trust somebody when you're around and when you're not around. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you don't have no loyalty, that's the whole point of a friendship. So if you ain't got that, you got to go.
Bye.
Okay, next one. So y'all letting y'all significant others go chill with others with the opposite sex one-on-one? Exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question marks.
I think.
Well, let's talk about that.
I say of course.
Because you guys are like, Jude is a male. You are a female. You guys are best friends for 13 years, are married. How do you guys keep that successful friendships? Because, automatically people think that when they see the opposite sex hanging out that there has to be something going on. How do you guys manage that?
And this is a very good question, because I feel like I respect Jude's wife enough to not be put in weird situations or even make him feel a way where he'd be like, oh yeah, I went over there and it was like this and now we have beef, so I don't ever try to make the situation uncomfortable. A lot of times when he is over, my husband's there, and I'm pretty sure like times if I'm over there, like his wife would be there, and if we do hang out alone, it'd be like out in public, like out and about, so like no one can say, oh, like they were doing this or they were doing that. So I just have that level of respect for his wife and his family and him as a person, so it's just like I wouldn't want to make it jeopardize that,
I love that.
I love that too.
I
love that.
I think the biggest thing too is that we met each other's significant other, because she was married before I was. Mm-hmm. So I met Will like first, and then me and him we would play the game together and everything. So we ended up creating a relationship off of that, and then so now where I can say that even if he does leave, we got Nugget and the rest of the kids at the house. So it's never we've made, because I remember my on the first date, my wife, she was like, hey, I got a male best friend and he's not going anywhere. I said, oh, that's perfect. I got 2 female best friends and they're not going anywhere. So that we already made that agreement to where like they were here before you, and they've been that support system for us. So I feel like if you have that communication with your significant other and let them know that, hey, this is such and such. This is not just some person I just met off the street.
Right, yeah.
And they played a significant role in my life prior to you, And then again, like her and my wife talk part on social media. We all
it's the way that we all communicate in a way. So.
Why do you think that this situation is not successful for the majority of people in the world? Why do you guys think
they lie?
Right, secret stuff going on.
Boundaries.
Yeah,
that's the one. Boundaries.
Yeah, I feel like there was a they did on social media, they did like this, those interviews they go up to people on the street and they
yeah.
So it was like, hey, I want you to call your male best friend, tell them that you broke up with your boyfriend, you're heartbroken.
Meet me up here. Yeah, some weird stuff. Yeah,
and she did that. Majority of girls who did that, their male best friend was like,
Bet.
yeah,
right.
yeah, and he was like,
Took
I'm
the
talking to you
opportunity.
right then and there. He's like, put it on speaker. So you heard the other dude, like what he was saying. It was like you weren't really there. You were there, and like a reserved waiting line.
Yeah.
Until
Like it wasn't genuine.
right.
Not the reserve rating line.
I feel like anyone could cheat though.
Yeah,
It just you just have to make sure you don't put yourself in the position like they said. There's
Don't be
certain
blind to it either.
boundaries, certain things they do.
yeah.
Because like you said, automatically people see the opposite sex in an outing, regardless. They're gonna think like, oh, they're probably together or this,
Right,
and that,
or doing
but-
something like it's not even like that.
Right. And I felt even when like we go places, I think we went to the shop. Oh no, I was single back then. But when we went to that shop, it was like she told her husband like, "Hey, I'm going this place with Jude," and my wife would do because she had her male best friend, so she was like, "Hey, I'm going this place with Elijah," and just in case somebody sees us around, oh, I saw your boyfriend. I saw you such and such.
And then we all have each other's numbers too, so
Right.
it's like
Yeah, so it works out.
Yeah.
The next one, what are you guys' views on sharing locations while in a relationship? Sharing locations, if you guys have an iPhone or any type of, is it Android?
Androids don't do that. Sorry.
I have an iPhone now, so
Currently,
I don't, I'm not in that life anymore, but I would take my Android, but I'm not even going to get into it with you with that, sir. We're going to answer the question about how do you guys feel about sharing locations with your significant other?
for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
At what point do you guys start sharing the relationship? The first date, second date, relationship, married, just dating?
We gotta be committed for a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
relationship.
Like we like deep in
Yeah.
there.
What is deep in there? Is that like,
How many years?
yeah,
How do you
a
consider
couple
it?
months?
Definitely not a couple months.
Because he gives me
Not a
very,
couple
he gives me a couple months. He gives me a couple months. Like I need to know where you at.
Don't be love bombing.
Around, I think when we got engaged, I shared.
Okay, yeah.
No, because I would share before. Well, she would share. We started sharing because she was always going somewhere.
See, he gives me a couple months with him. So that's why I said
It was more so
He
like
was ready.
so nah, but I feel like I don't know, I think it's right. I was in a relationship where I did share it, and it got like hectic because
It was more like a controlling.
yeah,
thing.
like
Yeah.
I remember one time I was like, oh, all right, I'm headed to your house, and I was taking my time, but it wasn't that long. I was taking like 5 minutes at my house to like get situated. Oh, you lied. You still at your house,
Bruh.
bro. I didn't. Yeah, I know. I didn't say I was.
You must have said I done left my house.
No, if Jude don't say on the way, he not on the way.
Right.
he not on the way.
So that's why I was like, no. So it became to where, oh, why your location off? I probably don't have no signal. I didn't turn it off on purpose.
Yeah.
I literally had to switch from my iPhone to an Android just to avoid all that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Nah, it's for controlling purposes. Hell no.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's more of like a safety purpose. Like,
that's what it's supposed to be intended for.
Yeah.
you know,
Right, like
that-
not
the
stalking.
crazies out here. That's definitely used.
Because
For
as a
like,
female, I'm on set late at night, far away.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
boyfriend
Oh, yeah.
does have my location.
That and just like I said, for safety, like I had a time like my mom had gotten an accident out in Orlando and she was like, I don't know where I am, but while she's crying, I'm like, I don't know where you are. And then like the only way I was able to find her was through Find My Friends. So
Yeah.
I feel like in those type of situations for sure, but it's not like to be like, okay, when you coming home, you need to say this.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
do you guys believe in rekindling friendships or relationships?
depends how bad the burn.
Yeah, it's all about how bad it ended. Like, were you selling me out when we stopped being friends? Did I value you? Did we have years in the bank? Because if it's like I just know you for a couple months, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
No, I had to end up, what was it, like 10? No, it was 10 plus year friendship.
Okay, what happened there? Elaborate. You already told us, so go ahead.
Jealousy. That was the Judas
Oh.
in the relationship, in the friendship. Dude didn't show up to my wedding. I didn't even notice that until like my honeymoon.
After, yeah.
I was like, oh, such and such didn't come. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I just blocked them.
Yeah.
And then it became where we actually, I think right before my daughter was born, we actually met up and spoke to each other. He was like, yeah, he admitted like him being jealous and everything like that. And I was like, all right, well, he said, we can be back being friends. I was like, no.
thank
I said, I just needed that conversation. That was really it. So I haven't spoke to dude, and he lives like 5 minutes from my house. So
Crazy.
yeah, he doesn't know that, but yeah. So
What do you guys feel about that? Rekindling friendships.
It depends on the burn. Like, I feel like with friendships, relationships, family, a lot of times too, it's kind of hard. Especially, I think it just depends where that line is. Like, if it's family, for sure, like, it's like, damn, like, you my blood. Like, how you, but honestly, like, family, I feel like will burn you more than your friend.
Yeah.
And relationships too. So I'm just.
What do you feel?
Yeah.
It depends, because sometimes certain seasons bring out like where you both at fault and you know that you needed to mature in order to get back together. If it's one-sided where someone does you like extremely wrong and they're toxic to your life, like, nah, forget, bye, love you from a distance. But like, if it's something that you know that you both have a good relationship and you both benefit from being in each other's lives, and it was a season that you just had to step back from each other to come back better and stronger, 100%. But that, again, takes another level of maturity to do that. But not every time you look back. Not every time you move forward, you look back. Sometimes you just got to leave people where they are.
I agree. I think
I love that.
I've been in a situation where I have rekindled a lot of friendships, mostly jokes. Because we're talking about relationship, I'm not like it's over. But friendships, I definitely have rekindled. I'm very much, if we can have a conversation and like she said, if you haven't burned me bad and I feel like the friendship is worth it and have some years in it, we can rekindle that. But if you sold me out, talk about my mama and did some crazy stuff and stole from me and you borrowed money, never give it back, we could never be friends ever again in life. The biggest thing about me is if you talk about me to other people about issues we had, it is a wrap. I got an old friend right now that a couple years ago found out he was selling my ass out. And now he's like, can we be friends? No, we can't be friends. What you talking about? No, we don't operate like that. So I do believe, like you said, it depends on the burn.
Once I tell my sister and my brother, it's a wrap for you, though.
A complete wrap. Okay, next one. Never invite someone into your life if you don't have the space for them in your life to begin with. I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we as people, we naturally just, take on whoever seems like they got a good vibe, and then we find out that we don't got the energy for the person. Like if you're married, got kids and stuff like that, you get them brought in this new friend who you know you're not going to even pay attention to. Then you should have been like, no, we can be associates. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, because I mean, people need each other. Like obviously, relationships are not just a one-way street. So if you can't give back, don't leave that person alone, because they might need you. And maybe it's unintentional. Like you said, you have kids, you're married. You can't be there for them the way that they need you to be. So just leave it alone. Like, not saying if someone's selfish and they always need you, but sometimes people like unintentionally, because even I'm that type of person. Like sometimes I get so busy, like I can't text back, and I have to work on that. Like I really do. Like, it's just a simple text back. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of my friends were like, yeah, you a bad friend. Like, why? But if you can't even give a text back, or like, hey, I'm going through something, can you come and we talk for a minute? Like, if you can't be that person to someone, like, don't give them the idea that you are. Let them know, like, hey, I really like you as a person, but this is where I'm at.
What do you think?
Yeah, that brings a lot of false promise too, when you're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna be like this perfect like friendship, and then that's not really that. Kind of like bring up your side of the bargain. And I just think it just depends on the friendship and like the limits that you put in between. Like I feel like with me and Jude especially, like we both have kids, like we're both married, we both have projects, things going on, so it's like we know we're not always gonna be talking to each other all the time every day 24/7. Like we check in whenever you check in. Hey, how you doing? Like, how's your energy? You're good? Cool. Hey, I saw this. Maybe think of this project you're doing. Like, we, do that. So, like, I think it just depends at what point you are in your life and what point that person is too. And also, like, sometimes you have to be selfish and not have so much of capacity for other people. Yeah. Like, you have to have that for yourself and realize too, like, where you're not draining yourself, putting it into other people versus yourself. So just being open and like taking accountability and being real about that. Yeah.
That was a beautiful way in that segment. We're going to move on to another segment. We're going to put on our little therapist advisor hat here. This segment is called The Questions That People Want to Know. These are questions that people have specifically sent in to us regarding relationships, all aspects of relationships. So we're going to give them our advice and see how it goes. The first one: if I have issues I cannot seemingly resolve with my partner, who should be my go-to if she or he is not accountable to anyone?
Wait, what?
I think I understand what they mean.
God.
I think I do too as well. I think they're saying that when they're having issues with their significant other, who should I go to if I can't hold them accountable?
Go to God.
God for
God.
sure.
He is,
Or leave that person. They don't care about.
After a few times.
Yeah, like if you can't resolve it, if it's something that's continual that they don't feel the need to work on if it's something that's important and hurts you and they don't feel the need to work on it, bye. Like, you don't respect me. Yeah, you don't respect me. You don't value me. You don't care about my feelings, and you're being selfish. Like, and let's go to God about it and
See what happens.
yeah.
But that type of stuff, you gotta wait because us we like to.
We like
God
the
for
instant
something,
gratification.
and then,
Yeah.
all right, I'm ready
Yeah.
for it now.
So how do you feel that? So if your response is that go to God,
Mhm.
and they feel as though they're not getting their response when they feel like they need it, what's the next best step? I think I'll be honest with you, I think that's sometimes a default for people to say, go to God. Okay.
I think you need spiritual maturity to say that.
What else is there? Okay, go to God. I'm going to God. I've been speaking to God every single day.
Like,
So
oh, God.
tell me what the next step to do. Listen, God is everything, right? But even
who's
God
the next
himself
best
gonna be like,
person?
okay, I didn't send you tools out to use, so use those
Then
tools.
you have
So
to use
explain.
those tools. So
Okay,
it's like,
okay. Well, elaborate it.
You
Yeah.
you can go to God. This is what I found. That's what I found out. What was that? Not found out, but someone told me that yesterday. They'll go to God and leave it alone. When you go to God and leave it alone, that's when you get that help. If you're going to God constantly about, hey, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, it's like you're not even letting God do His job. You're doing it for Him.
Because sometimes you got to move stuff around in order for that to
Or work on
kinda-
you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel that that's one aspect. But if you want to talk about in the natural, what you can do, if you're, the most you can do is go to a counselor, go to a therapist, someone you can confide in with confidentiality to where like you ain't got to worry about it being slipped out, or because you can go to family, but you really can't go to family because you tell your mom, hey, old boy is this and that. You're your mother's child, so it's like she's gonna fend for your side. She's gonna be biased against you on your side unless
Right.
you're
And even
wrong.
if they clear that side up, like she's still like
She's
I see
remember
you,
it,
like,
yeah.
She got that magnifying glass. She not letting up on that.
So you're saying that they could probably seek some wellness or some coaching wellness, since you know that's an aspect that you deal with yourself, right? Let's elaborate that on a little bit. You see how I set that up for him to take the bait, and it's like take the bait. Okay.
Well, yes, I am a wellness coach, so you can go to a wellness coach or a therapist or counselor or whatever, whoever I meant, to confide in and give you those tools that you need to work those issues out.
Okay. Thank you, Jude, for that. Next one. What are the possible steps to take when finding a partner? Okay. That's a good one, people. Put yourself out there. Let people know that you're looking. I don't think typically people are going to notice that you're looking just walking down the street. You know what I mean? So you got to let people know that you're out there searching for somebody. What do you think?
I've been off the market for a long time, so
Okay.
get out there. I don't know, just making sure that you're available for yourself so that you can show up for others the way that you need to show up for them, and just having those clear boundaries, clear communication. Like, hey, like, you know, when you first get into something, like, are you looking for the same thing that I'm looking for? Are we not looking for the same things? Like, let's just get that out the way now, and just kind of being honest with people around you.
Yeah.
What about you?
This actually happened to me recently because I was in a 8-year relationship and we had broken up, and I just didn't know because, you know, being with someone for 8 years, you're like, you're just out of the game completely. And I would say just be willing to go on dates that are worth it. Like, don't just, I'm too scared to go out on a date. If it ends badly, it's dinner. You know, you had dinner with someone for women, but you had dinner with someone, you know what you don't like now, and you can look for what you do like moving forward, but don't be afraid to take that step to move forward. And
Right.
Judy, anything to add to that?
The necessary steps in finding a
Partner.
one, you gotta make sure that you're straight, make sure that you're good in aspects of like we said previously, what could you bring to the table? The biggest thing is to make sure you're whole, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of people look for their other half.
To complete them.
Yeah, and it's like, that's very...
Narcissistic.
Yeah.
Very selfish to do. Yeah.
Reliant, yeah, because the moment that person... that's where, like, the insecurities and trust issues come in, because the moment the person kind of, like, you know, remove themselves a little bit, it's like, oh, what did I do? Are you cheating? Are you this? Are you that? Are you that? I feel like you should, like, be whole with yourself first, and then a person, even in marriage, a person's supposed to compliment you. They're not supposed to be your other half. They're supposed to just, they got to bring something to your life that helps to elevate. Yeah, so just, I think the biggest step is just making sure that you're good.
How do you leave a toxic relationship? Get your shit.
Get out. Go.
Out.
Up for the hills.
Okay. What do you? How do you leave? Give me more better advice than I get. How do you leave a toxic relationship?
I think for me, it's like I'm very big on you have to take accountability for the role that you played in your own suffering. So it's like, if I notice these patterns and they just keep building up, I'm not saying I deserved it, but I did play a part in that toxicity. So it's like, I just feel like slowly trying to work on myself so that I don't have those negative reactions with my toxic partners, and seeing if what I give out, maybe that they pick up on that and they're just like, you know, maybe I should not be so toxic anymore. Seeing that resolve itself. If it doesn't, then, you know, it's just, we got to go. We have to part ways. Like, it might be hard, but we just have to do what's best for us. And right now, this is not benefiting me.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Piggybacking on what Jude was saying about people looking for their significant other to complete them, you have to be whole within yourself, because no matter how much you know that you're in a bad situation and you shouldn't be there, if you don't love yourself enough to get out, you're not going to leave. And just like you also said, take accountability, realize like, hey, I did X, Y, and Z for this to happen, and now I need to do A, B, and C so that I can get out of here.
Drew, anything to add?
You got the wrong person. I was for 4 years straight. I'll say what got me out finally, it was I was the type of person where if I don't feel like breaking up with you, I'll make you break up with me, and that wasn't working. I tried everything, every single thing. It wasn't working.
Like, break up with me.
Right. And I think for me, I don't like seeing women cry or making women cry. So it's like, I know I had to be the person to say this is over. But I'll say, to be honest, when you've had enough, you automatically leave. I feel like, luckily, I feel like with toxicity, if it's not like physical, I'm not gonna say wait on it, but I'm gonna say if you don't have the courage to do that, to break up with the person, you're gonna end up putting yourself in a very compromising position to where it's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
Where either you're gonna be so stressed out or whatever, but yeah, man, you just having that courage to say like it's done, regardless of how they feel, because they're gonna make you feel bad. They're gonna say like, if you go, I'm gonna kill myself.
Listen, I've dealt with that before. I've dealt with that in high school. Like,
That's the go-to, bro.
Same.
Yeah.
That's
what
the
the heck?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna self-delete and go,
That's that narcissist.
That's
Yeah,
serious.
'cause they know like I got to a point where I was like, look, if you gonna do it, like,
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna push them off the edge, but it was just like literally like if
I ain't gonna stop you though.
right,
Yeah.
if that's your way, every time I say I think we should break up, and you're like, well, I'm gonna kill myself, I will send flowers to your grave.
Well, the turn now is unalive ourselves.
I'll attend your funeral.
Right.
This is gonna be the last one. This was I got this question 6 times. Is cheating just physical, or does secretly lusting after someone count as cheating as well?
It does.
Yeah.
That was quick.
It's true.
Can
It's
I
true.
ask you to explain why is that?
Because it's like, it says it in the Bible, first of all, that not just physically, the physical act of having sex with another person is cheating, but if you're thinking about it in your mind,
you do it as a man. Think if they do.
You're already doing it in your mind. But I feel like I said before, anybody could cheat, but the minute you're in control of your thoughts, essentially. So if you're sitting there, for example, you're at work and you have this coworker and you're like, dang, you're sitting there thinking about that coworker. Eventually you're going to act on your thoughts. You can't tell me you're not going to. You can't tell me you're going to be like, yeah, I think about it. I find him attractive, but I'm not going to do nothing. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you have to take some responsibility. Like, oh, I didn't mean it, but I cheated. But I didn't. No, you have to take some responsibility. You thought about it for a while before you acted upon those thoughts. So if you're thinking about, like, lusting after someone or thinking about what you would do with them, even though you're with someone that's cheating.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I feel like I've been guilty of that before. Not like a coworker situation, but it gets to a point where you're lusting after that person. You've been with your significant other for X amount of time, and it's like you're used to that person. You know what that person is like. It's predictable. So it's like sometimes you want to have that little that excitement, that risk, and a lot of times, most of the time, probably all the time, it's not worth it. But it's just like you kind of start turning off towards your partner to something that's just temporary and something that's fun, and it's like it's really not something that's gonna do anything for you in the long run. It's more like an instant gratification thing, or just whatever the reason is in the relationship that you did what you did. But I do feel like once you kind of open up that door, kind of have like, that's when it leads to the inappropriate conversations, the flirting, the let's sneak around and meet up, like, you know, that's when it becomes inappropriate. Okay,
so I'm gonna, this is a great way to segue into the next segment, which is let's talk about sex within a relationship. So I'm going to ask you guys a question since you guys answered this question. I mean, you guys kind of, so if that is something you guys consider lusting after, is your significant other watching adult content considered to be cheating?
That's if y'all into it.
Hold on. Can I get the ladies to respond?
Why he turned right to me like,
Can I hold on, just hold it. I got you. You gonna get. How do you guys feel about that? Because you guys were very animate about, the lust that is cheating. Now is watching somebody else live their best life cheating.
I don't feel like it's cheating.
Okay, because I'm with you at that.
My husband and I think like it just depends at what point in your relationship too. Like early on in our relationship, I was a little bit more insecure. So like I was like, hey, like I don't like that. Like I feel like I should be what you're fantasizing about, this and that. And it's scientific study, like porn makes you dumb. Porn slows down those brain cells. So, that's another thing too. But he just got like conditioned on his own to not watch it. Like he just doesn't like. He's real like stupid when it comes to his phone. So it's just like he's not the one to like really delete stuff. And if he has, like I'll find stuff and I'll catch stuff. But it's never been like he knew what my comfort was at that time, and he's maintained that. So, but
what about you? Tell the truth now.
Yeah.
She's giving like, nah, you go.
I do, because like not only in the aspect of cheating, but I feel like it creates a false sense of expectancy.
Okay.
Like you're looking at this girl can throw it in a circle, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. And like you feel like if
why is she on the fan?
Why is she upside down? But like,
right.
You feel like if your partner doesn't do that, then it's a disappointment. When your partner never set that expectation for you, that's an expectation that you saw from someone else.
Yeah.
And it's just also, I'm selfish when it comes to why are you looking at another woman like that? Like you
That's fair.
I should be everything you need for
right. Yeah.
Okay. And
if you want to explore outside of that, like communicate that with me. What can we do to like make it hot? So I agree.
If you're like, hey, if I'm not like, if I'm not doing something, we could talk. Let's talk about it. But don't get, don't try to go elsewhere.
You want to add to that at all?
Repeat the question again.
Well, you know the damn question. Do you feel as though looking at adult content is appropriate while you're in a relationship, or you consider that to be cheating? I'm going to answer it first. I don't think it is. Listen, let me tell you something, okay? I don't know. I feel as though if you're at a certain level in your mind and you are at a certain level within your relationship, I think understanding, especially with a man, that, it's not even about cheating. Sometimes they just want to release themselves by themselves. Sometimes maybe it's their
so
time.
You can't look at a picture of me while you relieving yourself. Like, she doesn't know photos.
Listen, my friends always tell my friend, your girl better be sending you just random stuff like that, to make. I mean, but that's still adult content.
So let me ask you this: if you were to get into a committed relationship, and she set that expectation, like, I don't want you to watch porn ever again. Like, how do you?
It will be okay. It will be an open discussion, communication. I'm all about communication. Okay. Why do you feel as though you don't want me to do that? If she says, well, I don't want you to do that because I feel like you're cheating on me because this and that, I feel like you want me that, then I'll probably, if I love the person, yes, I probably would stop.
Okay.
If I don't really love them, then I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like it goes to that conversation we just had about if your significant other is lusting after another person physically, just because they're on the screen doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
It's the same
Right.
thing. But also I feel like cheating is in everyone has their own perception of cheating. So that's where I'll say, like, there are certain couples who are into that type of stuff.
Yeah.
There are certain couples who are not. There are certain people who do a plus one into the bedroom. There's some who don't. So I think cheating is all in
based on
the person.
yeah.
So for me, my wife doesn't get turned on by that stuff. I used to, sit there like 4 or 5 times a day, just
God damn, Jude. I'm sorry, Lord, but what?
build that stamina up. But no, I did find that it does mess up your mindset, and it does actually give you a false reality. Because as real as them scenes could be, it's still fake. It's still scripted. It's a majority of them. I saw one
For
where it was
entertainment.
it's for entertainment. Like, they're called actresses. They get paid to do this. So
I don't know if they're called actresses. That's I mean,
Yeah,
adult
They have scenes.
performer.
They have
No,
scripts, some scenes.
yeah,
It's like
adult.
a
Oh,
Have
okay.
extras.
yeah, they have a
water
whole-
breaks. Like, I'm sure.
I seen
Like,
one of them. They did an interview. I was scrolling through the reels, and then this person was like, "Oh yeah, I did such and such," and they stopped her at one scene, and the lady brought her back. Hey, I want you to do this other scene, and they paid her extra to do the other scene.
right.
So they're actresses.
It's
not-
audition. Y'all
Yeah.
know that little couch. Really?
All right.
Let me ask another question. How often should a couple be having sex?
As many times that they can do it.
It's between them.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to say a good 4 or 3 times out the week. Realistically, I think.
You think it's realistic
That's not-
4 to 5 times a week?
realistic. That's not.
To y'all? Okay, to y'all. Okay.
No, I
Make
think
sure y'all
it
say
depends
y'all.
on the marriage. I don't think, because I feel like people think, oh, once you're married, like, oh, there's
Yeah,
no
you
sex.
just
Like,
I mean, I think there's
Like-
stages. If I was married and didn't have any kids, then probably yeah. Now, if I was married and I started having a couple kids, then that probably would slow that down a little bit.
it might slow it down, but I think if you keep it fun, you keep it flirty, like
Okay.
you keep it like it's not just come home, like take your clothes off. It's like stimulate me throughout the day, like.
But then sometimes that's all you got. Just that's all. We want to make this real quick. Live our best life.
I mean, even for you,
I mean, a quickie still counts, though.
Right.
Like,
It does.
counts.
It does.
Even you're an actress, so you're probably like going somewhere for a long period of time, then come back, and it's like you're not going. You're not going to knock it off for 3 times a day when she's out in a different city.
You never know. Hey, you never know.
No, you have self control.
Maybe if that's if she had a significant other, right? Even though she's an actress, she's jobs and stuff like that. But if that's what her significant other says, that's what I like. She would probably try to that's what you like. I love you. Let's try to see what we can do.
Wait, what?
How did you not understand what I just? Okay. What I said, like, say if she had a significant other, because use her as an example, right? And the
She does,
significant
yeah.
other was like, that's what I like. I need it at least
What does he
3 to
like?
4
3
times
yeah.
out the week. And she said, well, I really love this
her
guy.
Alternative could be if she's over
Okay.
in Norway filming and he's in Florida,
You can take flights.
you better send them 5 attachments and
Okay, then that's the alternative. Give the people some advice now, Jude. Okay.
that's the alternative. You're here and like, I'm gonna fly you out each time for 3 to 4 times.
You
a
got
week.
the money, I would.
You better sit at home. VR or something. Yeah. Oculus.
So that's okay. So the flip side of that, do you think a lack of sex will hinder a relationship?
Of course.
Yeah.
I say yes and no,
why
only
does it
because I think for me, I've been with my husband for almost a decade. So it's like you going through life, going through different things in your relationship, you learn sometimes when sex just does not matter. Like I've had 3 C-sections. So it's like in that moment, he's not like, oh, I can't have sex with her for 6 weeks. Like, oh my God, it's over. Like, he had to nurse me. He's got to see that I've birthed our children. Like, I had to recover, rebuild myself back up. Like, you find those things in those relationships that are more important than that. I'm not saying like sex is important. Like, I'll be the first one to tell you, but like other things just come into play where it's more important, and you don't even always see like that sex.
I think a lot of people mix sex and intimacy together.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's two different things. You can ain't no intimacy in the
Okay.
Pornhub. No, you look at Pornhub and you see you see intimacy in that.
There's no.
You light a candle, then you can be there.
Oh my gosh.
They just trying to set a mood, but I feel like intimacy is important in a relationship.
Yeah,
That's important. But you can have intimacy without the physical. You can dinner dates. You can even with foreplay. Some people just stop it right at foreplay. Blue balls, but they stop it right at foreplay.
Right, but it builds up that momentum and that potential for the next time. So it's like you build that between each other.
Okay, so you're talking about that. So is it important to have sex with somebody before you get into a relationship? That's a big one. I need honesty in this room now. I need honesty in this room right now.
I'll say no. The reason why I say no is if the person is trash in the bedroom, you can teach people. You can teach people how to have sex.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Versus like, yeah, I would. I personally had to wait till I was married.
At your big age of 30, you want to teach somebody how to do something?
Yes, if I'm really
But how do you break that? Like, this is trash.
Like this is trash. Like this is not working. You have no clue what you've been doing. So let me teach you how to do it. It may take you 600 times, but I got life to live.
Like, you ask them like, hey, what's your boundary when it comes to like what's your limit? And they have like no limit. Oh, you're perfect. You're fine. You could do. Oh, well, let's spice it up. Let's do this and that, and then y'all can do.
But what if it didn't get better?
Right. I want it like say if the top ain't the best, what do you do? Like if sometimes you can't improve that. I mean, realistically, so like
it's not sloppy.
Gag reflexes, they don't got it. So what do you do then? You just go. Let me just deal
There's
with
gag
this.
spray for that.
You alternate because if her top ain't good,
You just take that L. That's what it's in right now.
Her sex might be better though.
Okay.
Because usually if one's not good, the other's good.
But what if it's both trash?
Oh, then you gotta go.
Bye.
Yeah, I can't keep teaching you this. Like,
maybe she needs to watch Pornhub.
Let's both watch this together and see. But I also feel like if you watch porn for like educational stuff, that's different.
Oh my god!
Because I feel like if you watching like, okay, let me see.
But it's still unrealistic though.
It's still until
you're not gonna be at the cabana like
look the same.
Like it's not. The picture they paint is not real.
You could do something.
Shut up. This has been another amazing episode of the Get Ready For It podcast, season 5. It's your boy, the Amazing King, coming to you live and in color, bringing you that oh so amazing touch. Make sure you follow us at the podcast page at readyfor_1. Also follow your boy, Amazing I Am _1 Jude. Where can they find you at, my boy?
You can find me at bearded_Shinobi, BEARDED _SHINOBI. You can also follow me on my business pages, Creative, KREYATIF, Wellness, Touch Wellness. And you can follow me also on the other pages, Healing of the Black Man. And you can spell that. So, yeah.
Where can they find you at, my love?
Judy Ricquel, RICQUEL.
Where can they find you at, my girl?
I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram _KNEEUH. That's supposed to be Nia. And yeah.
Get ready for y'all. Bye.